Hi everyone, I'm Law of the West, and welcome to the second installment in this series of videos where I go over what the most powerful laser repeater builds are for the Superhornet. And this time I'm going to be looking at a loadout that consists entirely of NDB-30s. The NDB series only comes in sizes 1 through 3, so in order to make this build, I had to put a pair of size 3 weapons on the Hornet's size 4 hardpoints. Now, normally you'd think that doing this would reduce its overall DPS, but this build has a sustained DPS of 1,992. So why am I using all size 3 weapons? Why not just find a pair of size 4 guns that are a match for the NDBs? Well, if you're going to do that, then you're going to want to use a pair of size 4 guns that have the same fire rate and speed as all the other weapons so that their shots line up on a single targeting pip. And the only size 4 weapons that line up in that way are the Omni-Sky 9s and the Quarrelers, both of which are laser cannons. And the total sustained DPS for both of these weapons and the NDB-30s is 1,798. So you'd actually be reducing the amount of damage that you're doing by using those size 4 weapons. So why not instead just use a pair of harder hitting repeaters like the Rhinos or the Attrition 4s? Well, that's because their stats don't line up with the NDBs, and you'd end up with 2 targeting pips that would split the amount of damage that you're doing even more. So you're better off sticking to all size 3 weapons when it comes to NDBs. And as I said before, running with all size 3 weapons has a DPS of 1,992, and that's compared to the Attritions, which have a DPS of 2,924, and the Panther Rhinos that have a DPS of 1,590. So overall, the Attritions do the most damage, while the Panthers have the fastest rate of fire, and the NDBs are going to comparatively fall somewhere in the middle when it comes to both of these stats. How does that translate into gameplay? I found that the NDBs have the perfect mix of firepower and firing speed when it comes to taking out small, medium, and heavy fighters. And this would be the kind of build that you'd put together if you want to be equally effective when facing off against a mix of those kinds of ships. But once you start going up against larger vessels like the Hammerhead, you're going to start to notice that its speed stops compensating for its damage, and because of that, you're really going to struggle against those kinds of opponents. Well, that's going to be it for this video on the NDB-30 laser repeaters. I've been your host, Law of the West. Thanks for watching, and take care.